Welcome to Alive in Writing, a podcast on troubleshooting life as a writer.
I'm Chautona Havoc.
I'm April Heyman.
And I'm C.R. Rowanson. We're here.
We're alive.
And we're writing. Okay, today's episode is courtesy of Kristin Spencer, sort of, kind of. She requested that we talk about marketing, so guess what? We're talking about marketing, and there'll be more on this in Chapter 2, we think.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay! Oh, wait a minute. Yay.
Oh, that's right.
This is marketing, after all.
And they were forced to eat Robin's minstrels.
Yay. But thank you, Kristin, for asking us to do the episode.
Right! That was so cool to get a request, you know.
And the rest of you who have questions, you should have tried harder. Or
I don't
just
know.
Asked us.
I was going to say, or just tried. Forget the harder. We'll take the tried.
I think the point is that if you ask, we should, or we will probably deliver.
Yes.
So,
and at some point, the episode will actually come around to the topic you ask us about. So.
Yeah, so one way or another, it's going to happen.
So, what is marketing? What is it exactly?
Well, I have a personal opinion on this.
Is it
Shocker,
safe?
right?
I know. Is it safe for children's ears?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's our podcast, and that makes your opinions fact, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how the internet works, right?
Abraham Lincoln said so.
That's
Yes.
right.
Love that meme. Anywho.
Mentored by Yoda.
Okay, my opinion is that marketing, that we tend to, as writers in particular, we tend to think of marketing as trying to convince someone to buy what they don't want. And I disagree that that's marketing. I think that is what advertising is. Marketing is taking what somebody wants, and what we're doing is putting it in front of them. They're looking for it. They want it. We're facilitating what they already want. That's my definition.
So how do we do that?
Yeah. Teach us a wise one.
Yeah. You're cute. Well, I mean, that's really okay. Let's face it. We're authors, right?
Yes.
Sure.
You got this.
So confident.
I can tell you, this is the death in this room is
It's been a long week.
Tell me about it. Okay.
We're all writers, that's for sure.
Okay,
Yes.
We're all writers, but the point of what we do is we're going to produce something that someone's going to read. That's the point, is for them to be able to have something to read. Well, there are these people out there, they're called readers. They want something to read. So what we're producing is what they want, but they can't get it if we don't put it in front of them. They're looking for something to read. If we have the right attitude, all we're doing is putting what they already want in front of them and saying, here's one option.
Okay, that's really interesting. I can't remember where I had heard it. I think it may have been Copy Blogger. They were talking about something very similar, where your readers and your fan and your tribe, they're already there. You just have to put your stuff in front of them.
Right. I mean, let's face it. If you go to Amazon and you type in book, you're going to get like how many million?
Well, that's an entire category. On Amazon,
Well, exactly, right? There's millions of books under that book category. And then you start to filter. So you get down to one genre, and gee, you've only got several 100,000 now, right? Woo. And you have to find something. But if you go to if you go to Twitter, or you go to Pinterest, or you go to Facebook, and you follow an author you like, and they put their thing up there in front of you, a quote from their book, or the cover of their book with the release date or whatever, all they have done is narrowed your search for what you're already looking for. You want something to read, and oh, look, there it is. I think I'll buy that one. If someone else puts theirs in front of them, they're going to buy that other person's.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sold. I would just like to take a moment to vent and bring up some of the reasons that marketing is why I hate it. And it's just so frustrating. So one of the biggest problems I had with marketing, I'm getting better, I'm enjoying it more. It turns out I actually really like some of the social science and analytics that goes behind it, but that's not the point.
Sure.
When I first realized what I had to do with marketing, it was a major point of anxiety, and it was frustrating. I had spent years working on writing and my stories. And then it was like, congratulations, you have 20 more things you get to learn to do now.
Yay!
Oh, yay!
I mean, am I alone here? That's
No,
not,
you're not alone. I absolutely. Oh, I don't even want to talk about my attitude about marketing, but Ashley changed it.
It's like an iceberg. You go below the surface, and it keeps getting broader and deeper and broader and deeper until eventually you are crushed by the pressure.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's exactly marketing. Sold. We're done.
Yay!
But it doesn't have to stay that way. You can get a pickaxe and start chiseling away at those pieces and learn how to like create an underwater ice sculpture of marketing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
we're just moving on.
Yeah, well, my point being is that you can let it oppress you, or you can choose to take it by the head and make something beautiful of it.
Well, hey, right now you're really cutting into our negativity, so
Yeah, back off there, lady.
I'm
just
sorry.
give us a minute to have this moment. All
Okay,
right?
vent.
So, April, what is it you hate about marketing?
Mostly, it's just one more thing I have to add on top of an already busy schedule.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's, and my schedule's pretty busy.
Yeah, we've got that camel loaded up pretty good, and somebody's like, here's just a couple more bales of hay.
Yeah,
Not a straw.
Not a straw. No,
No,
it's.
it's like
Are
a
you
bale of
kidding?
hay.
It's an entire field. Because okay, this is the truth, and it was really hard for me to accept. But here is the truth: writing the book, editing the book, getting it published up through publication day. That's the easy part.
Really?
Yeah, it's the easy part.
It's kind of depressing, actually.
Yeah.
It is, because we are in a totally different era. I don't care if you are self-published, if you're indie, if you whatever you want to call yourself, or if you are traditionally published with a major publisher, unless you are maybe Stephen King, maybe, I don't know. If you think about it, James Patterson doesn't have someone doing his commercials for him. He's up there doing them. He's doing his own marketing. I don't care who pays for that. He has to spend his time to do that.
I would also like to point out, like, April and I are very aware of this. So we're groaning a lot. We're very aware of what Chautona is saying is quite true. It's still just painful.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't have to be as bad as it seems. Okay, I hated marketing. I don't even want to talk about how much I hated marketing, but Ashley did teach me to find the fun in it. There is fun in it.
okay, well,
Okay, so what's the fun?
The fun is that moment when you get that thing in front of that person and they're delighted to get it. Oh, look, it's coming out. I can't wait to read it. That's fun.
Well, that's
Okay.
great. It's just finding those people. I mean, I know you're supposed to know what your market is and the people who are going to be reading your book. You've got to write to the reader and all that. But
and
actually,
pinning down your audience and picking an avatar for your blog and whatnot and all.
yeah.
You know what? I didn't do any of that.
Huh.
I'm not saying I shouldn't have, but I didn't.
So I guess this is a lot of stuff you're going to tell us all about in chapter 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that those aren't great things to do. I think they make it easier for people. But just saying, you have to change your, and this is where everything changed for me. You have to change your opinion of what you're doing. You have to change your mind.
And that is an excellent segue into our spotlight because who changed your mind, Chautona?
Her name is Ashley Buffa from Ambient Promotions. Ashley, funny story. I asked a question on my message board about. She made a comment. You know, I asked a question, and then she came in and she went, boom, boom, boom. This is why this works, and this is how this is. And I'm just, my head was spinning. I had no clue what she was saying. And then I messaged her, and I'm like, how do you know this stuff? And she says, this is what I do. This is my job. I'm in book promotion. I'm in marketing. And I was like, let's talk. And what she did for my book sales, which were very minimal, consistent, but very, very, very minimal, to out the wazoo overnight.
Huh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
are you saying that we need to get a publicist?
I don't think people need one necessarily, but it sure does make it a whole lot easier when you have no clue where you're going or what you're doing. I knew nothing. When she told me she's like, do you have Pinterest? And I'm like, why would I what? I don't need recipes about my books. You know?
And there are a lot of resources out there now. I know I follow some of them, like small drop in the bucket of what is out there, and we'll definitely link to some of those in the show notes.
Definitely.
So we've talked about why we hate marketing, and I'm sure that you're all on the same page because it's time-consuming and frustrating and annoying and gives you panic attacks, and I'm going to stop talking. But it's also necessary. So why we have to get it in front of the people, but why else is marketing essential?
Without marketing, your book won't sell. You wrote this book for someone to enjoy. They can't enjoy it if they can't see it. They can't see it if you don't market it. It's just basic economics.
So beyond just sales numbers, are there ways that proper marketing can help you develop?
Oh, I think so, because it also shows this is how we found readers. This is how I got fans. I mean, it sounds really arrogant when I say that, but it's like, oh my goodness, I have fans. I have people that send me emails every week going, where's the next episode of this? When's that book coming out? Oh, I loved this line.
So
I never expected to get that, but you don't get that if you don't market.
I would just like to jump in. It sounds like jump in like I always do. It sounds like marketing is about more than just selling your stuff, like you said before.
Absolutely.
Because what you're saying is with Ashley and with the people who are excited about your book, it sounds like through doing this, you found mentors, you found fans, you found cheerleaders, you found a whole bunch of stuff that you needed.
Yes. And I'm able to help someone. I have a reader that'll call, and it's not the same person every time, but someone will email me and say, I can't wait for this book to go on sale. I'm dying to read it. We don't have the money for it. I send them the book. You know what? They tell the world about that book when they get done reading it. I didn't ask them to. I don't even mention it. I don't expect it, but it happens.
Okay.
With marketing, because they found that book through marketing, I was able to gift them that book, and they took that book and they marketed it for me.
So you're basically creating a community around your writing, not a book specifically, but about your writing in general. And you're constantly in contact with your fans and the people who are reading your book, and you respond. But you're also doing things, and I'm just saying this because this is what I've seen and I've participated in this with her. Things like blog. I want to say blog hops, but it's not a blog hop.
It's the blog tours.
It's the blog tours, which is a kind of marketing.
Yes.
And then, of course, the Twitter and Facebook groups, as well as belonging to other groups about like specific types of books. And so we both belong to several different groups about mysteries and romance and whatnot. And we get to talk, we get to read about other people's work, and then we get to share our own. And that also, gets people reading your book. So it's not just you have to create an ad and, slap it on your Facebook page. There's more to marketing than that. And you have to be involved. And that's really hard to do. 1, when you're an introvert. 2, when you don't know what to say or where to go to do it. And 3, when you have a really busy schedule.
Or if you're like me and you're kind of tech-tarded with social media stuff.
Or that.
So we talked...
That is genius.
Oh, I use it all the time. I can learn eventually, but I'm fairly tech-tarded.
That's awesome.
So we know why we hate marketing. We know why we need marketing. What are we going to do about it? What can we do about it? Like, how do we start? What do we do?
Baby steps.
Baby steps. I think the first thing you need to do, and something that any agent, if you are going to be, I don't want to say normally published, but traditionally published,
right.
Or if you're an indie author, either way, you need an author platform.
Period.
You need a home base, whether that is Facebook, a Facebook page, your Twitter feed, website, a blog, whatever you choose, you need to find one spot where people can find you, and then you can jump out from there.
I recommend it be a website.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, almost unequivocally, and I'm very opinionated about what kind of website, but
So what else? Is there anything specific we can do? Because for me, marketing is like a giant party full of strangers. Sure, I'm going to like some of them, but until I get to know them, I just don't really like these people because they're all strangers. I don't like strangers. Like, what?
Okay. There's two things I think that are really important to remember. Number one, marketing. If your marketing consists of slamming your book all over social media with buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, you're actually damaging yourself. People will run from you even if you create a good book. Because I know, what's that saying about bad...
good marketing can help a bad product fail faster. Is that the one you're thinking about?
Yes, but I was also thinking about the one about like in Hollywood, bad. It's like bad attention is still attention.
Bad publicity.
Yes.
Or any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way with books. Any publicity on your book is not good publicity because they don't just decide against this book. If they recognize your name, especially when you've got a name like mine, they will recognize your name. They will run from all of your books. You can't, so whatever you do, this is your don't. You don't just spam everything with buy my book, buy my book, buy my book.
Don't just advertise.
Right.
Because people can look at your feeds and they can scroll back through your feed, and if it's all, like for every 10 posts, you only have one personal or off-the-cuff post or something
about someone else.
And it's the rest are all about your book and where you can find the book to purchase the book. That's spam to me.
Right,
and
it
I
is.
am not going to follow you.
Even on my Facebook page, which is about my books, that's the point of that Facebook page. It's almost as specific as my website. I try not to make everything about my books, but I do it much more concentrated there than anywhere else. I have specific uses for each social media platform that I've decided that's what this platform is going to be for.
And you're already giving me a headache. So really, if that kind of makes you want to curl in a ball, my recommendation for
You are not alone.
You're not. I'm right there with you. Under the blanket. We'll make a little fort. It'll be great. But where I had to start is I just had to pick one thing. And I tried to find a way to make it interesting to me. And it all started with the blog because I realized that I could use my blog to help people in some way. And that's really what I want to do. I want to help and I want to entertain.
That's key.
And then I jumped to Facebook because it's what I knew. And I don't know how well it's working, but
He's doing great.
Well, thank you. I set up, do what you need to, build a structure. I work well with structures. So I have a rule that I can do no more. I have to have a ratio of 2 to 1. For every one post that links to a specific thing about writing, about my content, I have to have 2 things that are not. Right now, that's mostly funny stuff because...
He's a funny guy.
He is a funny guy.
It's how you stop the crying.
Well, you got a choice. You can laugh or cry. I prefer
or the
laughing.
screaming.
Exactly. So that's what I've done. I try and do 2 to 1. So, and that's where I'm starting. I'm hoping as I get better hang of it, it will become easier. It's also, interestingly enough, it's a way that you can start understanding your own personality. Because one of the other things is when I started, I was following a lot of people on Facebook and I was watching what they did. And it freaked me out because there are a lot of people, a lot of authors who they take up issues that they fight for and they're politically savvy and posting about these things, and that's not what I wanted to do.
Well,
and
you know what?
Me.
You're not Matt Walsh, so you don't need to do that.
No, I don't have to.
Right.
So, in a nutshell, if you can pick one thing and just start doing that, I still don't fully understand my audience. I don't know what it is they want from me. I don't know what it is that they enjoy seeing on my Facebook, but I'm just going, and I'm setting up a structure so I can go, and I'm going to have to figure out the rest along the way.
Right. And I think in addition to that, you need to be really consistent. If you're going to do it, if you're going to post once a week and be consistent with that. If you're going to post every day, make sure that you can post every single day.
Newsletter.
Me beating a dead horse about this. If you fail, don't beat yourself up. Or if you beat yourself up, just try and minimize it. I'm really good at beating myself up.
Get that wet noodle and you go, guys.
So I am working hard to reintegrate this into my thought process. It's more often than not. If you fail, you want to be consistent 100% of the time, but if you fail, just bounce back with, well, more often than not, I do post every week.
Exactly.
Right.
And then eventually you will get to once every week, 100% of the time.
Exactly. Well, and I just say, April is so right with this. If I miss a newsletter, I send one out usually at least once a week. If my people don't hear from me, by the end of the second week, I'm getting emails. Are you okay? What's going on? And it's just like, I'm fine. I'm just trying to finish this book, but they want to know. They expect it. Why? Because I created that expectation.
Right. And if you create an expectation, don't be surprised when people are beating down your door. You also don't want to lose them.
No, and you will. You will lose them.
If you haven't talked to an old friend...
Not to scare you anymore.
Not to scare you anymore. But it's like having an old friend from high school. If you don't talk to them for 20 years, don't expect them to call you...
on your birthday
and say happy birthday. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But if you keep in regular contact, then of course they're going to send you a card or say hi or whatever. Post on your timeline on your birthday or whatever.
And the other thing with this, because I'm always having to play devil's advocate, is it goes two ways. So just because you're doing, and this is what I am telling myself over and over as I am building up traffic and things like that. I have Chautona and April as cheerleaders, and they're amazing at that. They're wonderful. And I need that because I'm sitting here saying I must be doing something wrong. That's not necessarily true. It takes two people to have engagement, to have conversation. And even if you're doing everything right, those other people just might not be there yet.
Right. It's never going to be perfect. Something is going to fail, but that's okay because that's the beautiful thing about marketing is if it doesn't work. I know me. I aim to sever.
Oh my gosh.
Couldn't resist. That was awesome.
We need to make that a background. Computer background. That's fantastic. T-shirts. We're going to be selling T-shirts. I aim to sever.
Oh my.
But the killer is if the beautiful thing about marketing is if it fails, okay, you got a big marketing firm in what, Atlanta? That's the big marketing hub, right? If their marketing plan for some company fails, that company doesn't just dissolve and not exist anymore. They make a new one. They start over. They do a different way. If you quote fail with your plan, you just get up and you do it again.
And you don't do it the same way twice.
Yeah, exactly, right? Or you tweak it. You go, you know what? I wasn't helping my reader enough. I wasn't finding out what they're looking for. I wasn't involving them in the writing process. I wasn't asking them, hey, I need a name. I mean, do you know how much readers love it when you ask them for a name? You're looking for a name for a character and they're like, billions of answers. It's amazing. They want to be involved. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to send this person? They want to be involved.
Huh.
Yeah, they love it. And it's part of marketing. You're just having fun with friends, but you know what? They remember you when that next book comes out. So yeah, it's self-serving, but you can't think of it that way. You have to think of it, this is about them. They're going to have fun with this. I can come up with a name all by myself.
You just gave me a really fun idea that I'm actually going to pitch to our listeners right now because I'm greedy and it's actually marketing. Yay! Woo! And so I'm huge on magic systems. Love magic systems.
He's good.
I do mine. I'm helping Chautona. I'm helping April. I love them. But what would be really fun is actually with you readers, you can help me make one.
Ooh, this would be cool.
This is something I'm gonna have to go home and start putting on Facebook. But for now, if you haven't, we'll have to link this in the show notes. This is turning into a big pitch session for me. Yay! I talk about how you need a couple things to brainstorm, thinking about themes and mediums, really cool ideas. So to start, and I'm gonna start doing this on Facebook, is if you can just come up with some cool themes or mediums for a magic system, we can start working from there, and then I can write like a novella or something with this magic system that you guys built.
Ooh, that's awesome.
That's a good idea.
That is a great idea. Let's do this thing. It's in the links to his posts that will help you are in the show notes.
I'm really excited about this.
You should see the light has finally flickered in his eyes. He's been looking dead, ladies. He's been looking dead, gents. Mm-hmm. And now, dun-dun-dun.
Yay, marketing.
See? He's a convert, people. Woot!
Oh, my. And with that, we are at time.
Yeah, we're going to have to do this again.
Yeah, it's fun. I didn't think I'd ever say that. Okay. So, what freaks you out about marketing? Let us know. You can either put it down in the comments, or you can use your favorite social media and use the hashtag Alive and Writing.
And then that way we can help you in Chapter 2.
Yes.
So this has been Alive and Writing. Sometimes that's all you've got, but it's all you really need. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.